Ladies and gentlemen, we have some good news here today. Alex Smith is finally back on the field. This guy has had one hell of a road back, and boy, was it great to see her today. So, here we're just going to go over what happened today and his road to recovery because it's tremendous. It's a great, just a real feel good story. And nobody thought, well, no doctor thought he was ever going to come back, but hey, remove the guy from 2 years of gameplay, and even though he went 9 for 17 with 37 yards, didn't really do a whole hell of a lot, but just the fact that he's back is fucking tremendous. So let's see here. The 36-year-old quarterback took to the field Sunday in relief of an injured Kyle Allen and played the entire second half of Washington's 30-10 loss to the Rams. Smith had not appeared in a game since suffering a spiral and compound fracture in his tibia and fibula in his right leg on November 18th, 2018. So nearly 2 full years. It's very surreal at first, Smith told reporters afterwards. To have it happen as fast as it did was almost a blessing. Just no thinking and going and playing. Exactly, yeah. He was, I think, third on the depth chart to begin the day. And yeah, he got pressed into action just before the half. And yeah, no time to think about it. Grab your helmet, kid, and go out there and make that comeback complete. Smith completed a 6-yard pass to J.P. McKissick on the first snap midway through the second quarter. 2 plays later, he was sacked by Aaron Donald. Not exactly a light test off the hop, and quickly sprang up. Another notable stepping stone in his 2-year recovery. Smith completed 4 consecutive passes on his second drive to set up a Washington field goal. I've been waiting for this a long time, he said after taking his first hit. The first one felt good, and it's nice to know that you're fine and knock the cobwebs off, so to speak. Dude, just a real great feel-good story. And I really, really, really hope that he succeeds. 36 years old, you can definitely knock off a couple years due to inactivity. So yeah, he definitely still has a few years left in the tank, and hopefully Washington takes advantage of this, or even if it's a new team, somebody to just take advantage of this. Just a great story, man. Somebody who worked his fucking ass off in order to get back here. And ESPN has a great article on his comeback, and we're going to go through that here today because he definitely needs to be highlighted for all the work that he's done, and it's going to get a little gory, unfortunately. So this entire article is written from the perspective of Alex Smith's wife. So we're just going to run down a bunch of the high points here. Alex isn't Alex anymore. It's been 57 hours since my husband was carted off the field with a compound fracture in his right leg in a Week 11 game. But now it's Wednesday at midnight, and he's not just an injured football player. He's a patient who's drifting in and out of consciousness by doctors trying to figure out what's wrong. Of course, I want to talk to Alex, but he's not there. They're thinking it's a blood clot, a pulmonary embolism. Then we're doing a cardiogram. Throughout the night, it's a test after test after test. Alex's fever is through the roof. His blood pressure is dropping. Finally, we learn he has an infection. The doctors are telling me he's septic. It's in his blood, and we don't know what type of infection it is. Dr. Steve Malexada, one of Alex's trauma surgeons, comes in early the next morning. It's Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. He would tell us later he came in because he couldn't sleep. He knew something was off. He unwraps the bandages on Alex's leg. Even though it had been unwrapped just a few hours before, at the time it looked normal, at least normal as post-surgical fracture sites look. But now his leg is black. The blisters are huge. It's clear the infection is in his leg. It's something I couldn't fathom seeing in a war movie, and only now it's my husband. It's my worst nightmare. This is going to get really graphic. It's fucking gross, guys, so skip ahead a couple of seconds here if you don't want to see anything. Ugh. Fucking gross. The doctor says we have to go back and we have to take him into surgery again. What does this mean? We have to take off a lot of skin, a lot of muscle tissue, so it's fine. Is it done? Is the infection gone? So not only did this poor fucker get his leg destroyed by J.J. Watt and the Texans, he eventually, after surgery, turned septic and nearly lost his leg. So this was the same type of injury that ended Joe Theismann's career back in the 80s, and because there's been such a great leap in medical technology, he was able to save his leg and more than likely be able to return to the game. But then once this infection happened, it was very, very unlikely that he would ever return. So Alex's leg has a flesh-eating bacteria that's eating away at his leg. He's septic and essentially dying. We're being inundated with medical language. Family, everybody is on high emotion. And I just need some grounding. So here's a recap of the initial surgery Alex had on his leg. Before Alex goes into surgery, the doctor shows us a CT scan and says, this is a really severe fracture. It's a spiral fracture that starts down in the ankle joint and spirals all the way up through the tibia to the knee. And the fibula is broken. Because of the length of Alex's tibia, they are going to have to put in quite a few plates and quite a few screws. It's pretty common practice, they tell us. You'll go in there, maybe be in the hospital for 2 days, do a little bit of rehab, and then you're on your way. After surgery, the doctor says it went well. Oh, it went as well as they could have hoped, and everything looked good inside the leg. The bones are lined up great. I even have pictures. Since Alex suffered a compound fracture, a complete fracture with the bone breaking through the skin, or a complex fracture rather. They say there is a risk of infection, and they have pulled out a little bit of a dirty sock from the wound, but he's on antibiotics. Dr. Holtzman comes in the morning and he unwraps his leg and says it looks pretty normal. Blisters are normal, bruising is normal, but throughout the day, Alex gets progressively worse. By Wednesday night, well, we know we're not going home. The doctors make it their mission to save Alex's life and his leg. They say, you know what, we're going to go in every single day. And for a week, they go in every day for a debridement, cutting skin, tissue, and muscle until the infection is gone, until they're certain. After 8 debridements, Alex has completely exposed tibia. He has no anterior compartment. He's missing everything from his knee to his ankle and from side to side. Wow. The way the doctors explain his situation is Alex no longer has a sports injury. He would be what can be comparable to a military blast injury. Alex doesn't look at his leg. He doesn't want to see it. At this point, Dr. Vinet Mihan, plastic surgeon, comes in with the orthopedic surgeons and says, here are your options. We want to lay out everything you could do. For the first time, Alex is really awake and listening. Obviously, 1 is amputating. 2 is a muscle transfer. 1 transfer option would be from your lat. Alex said, you're not taking my lat. I need that to throw. It's everything. You can't take my lat. And that goes to show you what kind of a soldier you're dealing with here. This would have easily taken out anybody else, man. Fucking big props to this guy. He's just amazing. Just amazing. It had to be a large muscle because Alex's tibia was so long. We can take part of your quad from your left leg. But they also tell him it might not work. In addition to transferring the muscle, you have to connect arteries and veins and all those things. It's microvascular surgery. And when you have to do that, like an organ transplant, it's not guaranteed to take. If it doesn't take, you're going to an amputation. If you have an amputated right leg, now your left leg is weakened, you have to use that leg for the rest of your life. Alex is participating more in the conversation. He's a fighter. Give him a challenge. He wants to go. As soon as he hears about the transfer, he's like, let's do it. Let's go. And that right there really tells you all you need to know about the character of this guy. Like him or not, even when he was back with the 49ers, if you just thought that he was a manager of a game, if you didn't think that he was that great of a quarterback, for all the social justice shit that's going on right now in the world, if you cannot appreciate the heart and the dedication this guy has to life and just to the craft of football itself, man, I don't know what to tell you. You're on the wrong channel. First few weeks at the hospital are hard. We had to outfit our house to be wheelchair accessible for Alex to get around. He can't let his leg down. He needs help with everything, whether it's to get out of bed or to go to the bathroom. He can't really shower. Alex came home with a PICC line, so I give him antibiotics every day. The kids all want to take care of him too. It's incredible how far he's come. To see a man who was on top of his game, who was, at the time that he came over to the Washington at the time Redskins, I know, bad name. He was at the top of his game. To see him in a picture like that, I'm not even that big of an Alex Smith fan. I'm much bigger now after doing this video, but troubling to say the least. Between the debridements, the muscle transfer, and microvascular surgery, the skin grafts, the external fixator shortening and removal, and finally the replacing of the large circular bone stabilizing frame with a titanium rod, Alex will undergo 17 total surgeries and endure 4 separate hospital stays over a period of 9 months. There's no doubt this is a challenging time, especially for Alex, and God bless his family for this, man. Strong individuals. Do you know how many people would love to trade positions with me, he says at the time? Millions of people would love to be where I am right now. Do you know the life that we live and the blessings that we have? What? I say in disbelief. And I can't take that for granted. Not for a minute, he says. Perspective. I have to admit that he's right. And there he is, man, back on the practice field. And this was earlier this year when he heard rumblings that fucking he's going to get cleared to come back and play football. And what an amazing journey. I can't say enough good things about Alex Smith, man. I hope he succeeds. I hope he wins everything that's available to him, man. Even as a Ravens and a Raiders fan, and I'm just hopefully successful for the rest of his career, because now you guys know more about his story. I remember piecing this together throughout the past couple of years, but it's really great to finally put it into one video here, and hopefully we can look back on this as just the launching off for a second half of his career, and I'll be watching along, because this is one of those feel-good stories that, regardless of the takeover for the NFL, this is something that you can look at and really draw inspiration from, because he didn't let a situation where it looked like his leg was going to get amputated keep him down. Man, he knew how strong he was. He knew how hard he had to work, and he had great support out there. And man, take this as a source of inspiration. God bless him. God bless his family. And I thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully you drew some inspiration out of it. Let me know about any other inspirational stories that have lended you hope and support throughout the years. I'd definitely love to hear about them. But I thank you guys for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you guys to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.